Hey guys, Keith Engel for TGI Sports Talk. Hopefully, this recording will go better than this morning's broadcast. I did have a interview with Roy White this morning. Hope you guys will check it out. We did have some audio and some technical issues. Not sure what really happened, but we'll work on those for the next time. Today, we are going to talk about the NCAA playoff and the issues that I see with it. 14 playoff, not enough, guys. If you're not part of the Power Five conferences, and when I say the Power Five, I'm referring to the Big Ten, the ACC, the Pac-12, the Big 12, and the SEC. If you're not one of those conferences or Notre Dame, you're not getting a sniff. You got some really good teams again this year. You've had them in the past. You had the Central Floridas. You've had you got the Cincinnati's last year and this year. You've had TCU. Um, but TCU is part of the Big 12, and maybe I'm thinking of TCU before they hit the Big 12. But again, these guys in the big conferences they're protecting their money. They don't want the Coastal Carolinas of the world getting their hands out. They want to protect it. The NCAA missed the boat badly this year with the whole COVID situation. Perfect time to expand to 8 teams, maybe even 16. And I think they're going to complain. The schools are going to say we can't fit those in. Look you got a bunch of meaningless bowl games now, where whatever NC State's going to be playing Missouri, and I come up with any number of games that are played on a yearly basis. And look at the stands, and there's nobody there. They use the bowl games now for the 2 semifinals. It rotates year to year. Those games are going to be played New Year's Day this year. I can't remember the bowl games that are specifically semifinals right now, so I apologize for that, but I'm really talking about the process in general for the moment. You could take 8 bowl games. Do I need it? Yeah, 8 bowl games. Some of these lesser bowl games, use them as lead ups to the semifinals, use the major bowl games for that, and then play your final. Play 16 teams. That would work perfect. You've got now an FBS, 10 conferences. And if you took the winner, and you could determine it by whatever regular season or the playoff champion, most likely the playoff champion. College basketball uses their tournaments, so regular season doesn't mean anything. At least in college football, the regular season would mean more than NCAA basketball. Again, you take the teams that win all these divisions, you get 10 teams, all these conferences. And I'm talking about basically, we're talking the AAC, which I love. If you watch my Sunday show, I love this conference. It is strong, it's deep, and I think some of them can play with the big boys, in a given year. You got the ACC, you got the Big 12, you got the Big 10, you got Conference USA, you got the Mid-American Conference, you got the Mountain West Conference, you got the Pac-12, you got the Southeast Conference, you got the Sun Belt Conference. And you'll say, well, maybe we get some independents. There aren't many people playing independents anymore. Notre Dame, which is fine because we get 6 slots for wild cards. 6 at-large teams, whatever you want to call them. So, you could have, this year you're going to end up with, maybe 2 ACC teams in there with Notre Dame and Clemson, depending on what happens with that game coming up in their championship game. You could potentially have 2 SEC teams get in there, depending on what happens with Florida and Alabama. Alabama's not getting left out. They lose to Florida in the SEC championship game. They're not getting left out. Florida probably will get left out with 2 losses. But in this case, in my scenario, they wouldn't have to be 6 conference champions. Let's just say that the playoff games play out this year like like the regular season played out here. So we would end up, here's the teams that we would end up with automatic bids. Let's say Cincinnati wins their playoff game. There's one team. No, let's say Clemson wins the ACC with a rematch with Notre Dame. And remember, Notre Dame doesn't normally play in the ACC and probably won't be next year. We'll say that Iowa State holds serve and beats Oklahoma, although Oklahoma's playing really good football right now. There's three. We got the Big Ten. Ohio State is now, whatever. The Big Ten's changed the rules. You don't have to have played 6 games to get in the championship game. Do you think they would have done that for Indiana? That leaves Indiana on the outside of the playoff looking in, by the way, and it's a really good Indiana game. Indiana team was only lost to Ohio State. Okay, so we got 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Conference USA, Marshall, great team. Let's say they win. 5. Mid-American Conference, Buffalo, playing great. Let's say they get in. 6. San Jose State, another undefeated team. 7. In the Pac-12, who've played very few games, not going to have a shot at the playoff this year. Let's say USC continues to win by the skin of their teeth. Okay, we got 7. Southeastern Conference, Alabama, 8. Sun Belt, Coastal Carolina, great story this year. Got no shot at the playoff. 9. I got 10 teams, I thought. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Who did I miss, guys? All right, anyway, we got 10 teams. Now you can take 6 at-large teams. You can start with anywhere you want. Okay, Notre Dame. Start with Notre Dame in any given year. We could include, again, the independents, and there's not many teams. Liberty's a great story this year. Maybe someday you'd want to give them an at-large bid. BYU was undefeated until they ran into red-hot Coastal Carolina, a fun story this year. Some people think they're thugs. I get that. You might even get one of the Naval Academies playing really well one year. Okay? Anyway, let's just talk about this year, filling up those 6 wild cards. We take Notre Dame. We take Indiana. There's 2. We take the runner-up in the SEC, Florida, let's call it. That's 3. My math is horrible this year. You're probably not going to take, again, just like the NCAA tournament, you're going to have 1 bid conferences. You want to take, who else would we take? Texas A&M, 3 teams from the SEC. I'm okay with that. Northwestern from the Pac or the Big Ten, excuse me. The runner-up of Ohio, Oklahoma and Iowa State. Maybe Texas slides in. Maybe a runner-up in the AAC. Again, a conference I love has a shot at getting into this playoff. I think it works perfectly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I count 10 again. 10 conference champions, 6 at large. You're going to play 3 weekends. 3 weekends. I mean, again, look at the normal year, and you've got all these weeks with just crappy bowl games, nobody in the stands, nobody watching. There's a lot of money right here in front of the NCAA. You get TV money. You're going to get people in the stands in some of these lesser bowl games. Lesser now, they're going to be much more major later on when they count for something, when they're one of these 8 bowl games that lead up to the championship game. It's only 4 weekends. 16, 8, 4, 2. Sorry, we get 4 weekends. Big deal. Again, big deal. You move the season up, you cut out a week here and there. Teams don't need to play 12 regular season games. 16 teams. Right now, the NCAA is doing it wrong. They're missing the boat. This was a perfect year to experiment with this, and I'm really disappointed in the NCAA for not doing it because the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, I can't say it right. Mark, you can bail me out on this. One of my buddy Mark's favorite teams. Went to some games when his son was down there at school in Carolina. Cincinnati gets a shot. Marshall gets a shot. Buffalo gets a shot. Are these teams going to win? They might win one game. Are they going to beat Alabama for national championship? Buffalo, no, but they're probably not going to meet them either. But what does it hurt to play these games in place of some of the bowl games that we get now? They're meaningless. You get the teams extra practice time. That's really all they're for, and money, the sponsorships, because there are no, Sun Bowls anymore. They've all been bought up by corporate deals. Well, let's take the corporate money and let's put it into a 16-team playoff. Let's do something constructive here. We could have done it this year. We could have made something out of this mess of a college football season. You're going to have a mess when it comes to the final selections on December 20th for the playoff. Ohio State's going to probably get in there. They're with a pass into the Big Ten championship game. Cincinnati's going to run the table if they win their conference championship and have, whatever, 10 wins. And, it's just, this is the place that we should have done this. The NCAA's got to pull their head out of the sand and stop protecting the power conferences if that's what they're doing. USC, Central Florida Knights should have had a chance a few years ago when they were undefeated. They crowned themselves national champions because they were undefeated. Didn't get a chance to play in a playoff. We'll put them in. Who are some of these other teams? Miami might be an at-large team if it were this year. Might be a little biased there. Guys, the teams are deserving. It would not cheapen the regular season. It's still more valid than the NCAA. The NCAA lets in 68 teams, with a couple of playing games or 4 playing games now, I think. Maybe we're up to 70 teams. I'm not even sure. What's a regular season mean, though, when everybody plays, whatever they play, depending on the size of their conference, 12, 16 conference games, but they go in and a team that finished 10th in the conference can win the tournament and get in the NCAA tournament. That lessens the legitimacy of the regular season in basketball, as far as I'm concerned. Football won't happen. You've still got to win your league to get into this playoff. 10 conferences, 10 automatic bids, 6 at large. Notre Dame, you're good. You're always going to get in. You'll always be in. Notre Dame will love this. So will some of the other teams. You might even see more teams go with an independent schedule this way. And you might see better matchups during the regular season, I think. So you shorten the season by a week or 2 weeks somewhere. There's bye weeks right and left. I mean, we've gone longer than we've gone any other season this year. So I'm on a bit of a rant here, guys. I really feel strongly about this. College football, expand your playoffs to 16 teams. Time to do it. The time is now. Let's get it done next year. You can baby yourself up to 8 to 16 if you want. You got to do something. This 4-game playoff is causing more problems than it's solving. You're not giving these smaller schools a chance. Small schools, Cincinnati, not a small school, but in the football world it is. The Alabamas and the Ohio States will take care of themselves. They'll be getting in. They don't even have to win their conferences to get in. They'll still make out here. You're going to have to win these other 5, group of 5 conferences, guys. Reward them with a real meaningful playoff game. Give them a chance. Yeah, let's put Buffalo against Alabama in the first round. Are they going to win? Probably not. So what? Alabama plays worse teams in the course of a season than Buffalo. Everybody's got a weak sisters that they play for a payday or for whatever reason. Give these guys a chance. Coastal Carolina, could they have a punching chance against, I don't know, Clemson or Notre Dame? Let's just say they were the 15 seed. You know what? Who knows? It would be exciting, though. You'd have Cinderella stories or the opportunity for Cinderella stories, just like you do in basketball. You don't have that today. You don't have any chance of that today. All you get is the big guys. No Cinderella stories ever because they're never going to allow them to get in. Iowa State was 13th last week. No, yeah, 12 or 13, I think, last week. They jumped Cincinnati this week. Cincinnati's still undefeated, hasn't lost, didn't play. Iowa State got better than them, and they got 7 spots better, I think, in 1 week. This isn't a way to do it, guys. We still have some arguments, yeah, but look at if you can't make one of these 16 spots, you don't belong in. I'd rather have arguments about who gets that 15th and 16th at the at larges, those last 2, 3, 4 spots, than arguing about who gets in 4. And you're letting 2 teams. I mean, theoretically, this year you could have 2 teams from 2 conferences, and that'll be your Final Four. It's possible. If Florida beats Alabama, Alabama's not staying home, guys. And if Clemson beats Notre Dame close, I think Clemson and Notre Dame are in. Now you got 2 ACC teams, 2 SEC teams, locked up 4 spots. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Have a great Friday night. NCAA, get your head out of the sand. 16-team playoff. Make it happen. Let's have some Cinderellas, and let's have some fun in December. Keith Engel out. TJ Sports Talk. Talk to you soon. Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Fired up this weekend. Fired up. Have a good one. Bye-bye.